Get a sewing machine, they said, Albie. It would be fun, they said, Albie. I finally did it, y'all. I bought a sewing machine. Introducing Miss Juki, all the way from Japan. Now, despite religiously watching every With Wendy upload, I literally didn't know where to start. Luckily, my sister, the creator of Wildfire, did, so I hit her up to help me.
You want to do it through inside out. Pedal to the metal. Pretend you're driving. Let me show you mine. So it was probably the same thing then.
Thanks for your help.
Faith in you, I have faith in you.
Thank you, girl.
Bye.
Bye. And I called her a whole bunch of times throughout this whole process. One thing, I'm not a professional seamstress, never said I was. I'm beginner at best, clueless at worst. So unlike a typical tutorial style thrift flip, this is going to be like 1,000 trial and errors type of thrift flip. So if that sounds good to you, let's get going. So initially what I wanted to do was make it like a shorter sleeve and use the extra fabric to create an extra ruffle. But according to my sister, she said that if I were to cut it, the sleeve would kind of just like lay flat, like it wouldn't look really cute. So the other option that I thought about is actually seam ripping this over here and just make the actual neckline lower. And because I have boobs, it just looks very top heavy. So hopefully to balance it out. As I seamed ripped everything, I went a tad bit lower than what I thought I wanted, just to be able to test how low is too low, you know what I mean? And then you'll be left with a little flap like this. From there, I just tried on the dress and folded it till I got it to a height that I liked. I feel like she could definitely go lower. I think I should go like till you see like the babyest bit of cleavage like right at the top of it. I think that's where I should go. I'm gonna cut this a little bit shorter so that it doesn't have like a giant flap on the inside. But what I want is essentially just to fold both of these ends together. I'm gonna sew this back up so that it's nice and secure, and that's gonna be it. I am super happy with the end result. It was such a simple fix that really helped the dress not look like it was suffocating me anymore and instead look really good for my body. I almost thought about going a little bit lower with the neckline, but I'm glad I left it at this height. For this dress, I initially wanted to make it into this like short little black dress situation, but my sister said that because of the boat neckline that this dress has, it would just make me look really top heavy. So instead, to taper in the ends to make it into like a classy looking dress. So that's our project for this one. So I used the pencil skirt to give me the outline on where I should take it in. Because the skirt isn't really stretchy, even though I marked it here, I'm gonna add in like 3 centimeters in just to see, because this is very stretchy, so I don't know if I hit it here it's still gonna look quite loose. I want it a little bit tighter. Okay, so this puckers out a bit. I also don't like that it looks like it's stretched here. I think I would rather have it look nice and flat and not like there's obviously some tension here. So I think I had the right idea with making it a little bit tighter here, but I shouldn't have done the same for here because obviously this is going to be very different. I'm going to seam rip everything. If I added an additional 3 inches here, I'm gonna do 3, maybe then just 1. If not, I might just leave it all the same. So yeah, so there's that. Okay, so here we is. I'm just gonna say it's good. Now, I don't know what to do about this. I'm thinking I'm going to just flip it in, fold it, and do that. Okay, so I pinned everything down and we're just gonna go for it. I think to make this easier, I'm gonna cut these ends so I can fold this in, I guess. Oh, really? I guess so. So the reassuring thing is that if this all goes to shit, which I hope it doesn't, I can just cut this off and just make a new hem thing. Yeah. Cut this and I'm scared this is gonna fray, so I'm just gonna do a zigzag stitch all the way down so it's more secure. Okay, I'm happy to say that now I have a classy looking dress in my wardrobe. I'm still not 100% sold on the tail part, but I am sold enough that I will not be doing any other alterations to it, okay? My only thing is now, when the hell will I have the opportunity to wear this? I guess I will just have to make my own opportunity. For this project, I wanted to make it into less librarian chic and into more of a 60s mod gal. I don't want this to be like super tight, so then the buttons here are gonna look like they're gonna pop. And I also want to make sure I have enough room to breathe. First thing is that I had to take in the sides. I had several failed attempts of doing this. First one was just wearing the top and pinning how much I needed it in my waist and my bust. For my waist, it was 5 centimeters. So I thought, my brilliant mind thought, just to use that 5 centimeters all the way down the dress, which led to, I tried it on. Nope. So time to seam rip. Next, I made this curved line thinking that that would do the trick, but yeah, it didn't. So I did this and I'm not really liking it all that much. Like this part kind of puckers out. So time to seam rip this for like the 10,000th time. I found a dress that isn't like super stretchy. I mean, it's still stretchy, but I'm going to use it as how the curve should go. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. We got this down. Let's try this again. So this method worked for the most part, but we're gonna get back to this later on. So now on to cutting the length of the dress. Now I know I wanted to have this like curved hemline to make it look really cute and retro, so I took this skirt to outline how I wanted the hemline to go. But then I made the mistake of also using it to determine how short I was going to make the dress. Instead, I should have used a dress that had the length that I liked to mark where the highest point of the curve of the hemline would be, and then use a skirt to outline how the curve would go. But I didn't do that. After pinning everything, I tried it on and I was like, oh, it's short, but I had blind faith that this was going to be okay, unfortunately. Once I had the hemline outlined, before I cut it, my sister was like, make sure to have 2 inches of seam allowance. And I was like, yeah, I'll just do like 2 centimeters instead. Also because I wanted to use the extra fabric for another project, but whew, what a fool. I pinned the lining and the fabric together, making sure that it wouldn't budge while I was cutting it. And there's Albie just doing his thing. Albie, be careful. Albie, excuse me. Albie, no. Albie, no. Bebe, no. No. I feel like this has been going on for days. But I think it's at a perfect length like right now. Like what it is right now, which snap. Because I know I have to hem it. But I want it to be like exactly this length though. I'm already worried about the back. I'm always scared about my butt showing. I always feel like, yeah, your butt shows a lot. The other thing I'm kind of thinking with this is like, all right, you know what? If I lose some more weight, that's going to create more space in this dress. And it's also going to make it longer. So I just got to lose more weight. I made the seam allowance to just about 1 centimeter, ironed it, and then sewed it down. The problem that happened was that this fabric frays so much that I would have to roll the seam up again to secure that it wouldn't fray. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to seam rip this whole thing. I got some bias tape finally, so I'm just going to slide that in there and then sew this along the whole edge of the dress. Probably would be my best bet because I really don't want to fold this up again. It's just going to make it that much shorter. So trying to preserve the length that we have right now. Now we're going to sew this and I'm hoping this is going to work out, hopefully. Initially, I didn't like that it made the hem stiff, or as my sister called it, like a lampshade. But she also told me that the thicker band really played up the 60s mod gal, and it would serve as some weight to hold down the fabric from not flying everywhere when I walk. So she convinced me and I liked it again. So before the real before and after, actually when I was editing this video, I realized that I should probably redo the side seams again to try not to make it as wonkalicious, you know, and to try to loosen it up just a baby bit because as you can see, those buttons were about to pop. So first thing I did was to try on the dress and to mark it with a pin where my waist was. Then I marked it with some chalk. Afterwards, I seam ripped everything. Oh, which side note, my sister actually sent me this cute little care package. She talked really highly of the seam ripper, so yeah, I got to use it for this and it definitely made the process a lot easier and quicker. So as you can see, the edges of the dress were already faux serged together, which how you do that is actually just by adjusting the stitch length to be at its tightest while leaving the top thread tension just as is. I mean, I'm talking as if I know, but it's my sister that told me, so hey. The trick is to use a zigzag stitch, and when you're sewing it, you just want to sew it like a millimeter away from the fabric so it'll lock itself over the raw edge. So back to the video. Because the ends were serged together, when I was recreating the seam, I just marked the seam to be as close as it could be to the serged edge to ensure maximum space for my chest. The trickiest part was the hip area because it kept coming out like super wonky. So to help it, I took a skirt and I used that to outline how the seam would go. This process was just a lot of back and forth of trial and error. It's actually still a little bit wonky, but this wonky I can live with a lot better than the other version that I did. So now let's see the new before and after. Oh my god, this dress came out almost exactly like how I wanted it, though she's still kind of wonkalicious, but I'ma still make her work because she looks mad cute. I'm gonna see if I can wear it before we truly get into the worst part of summer here, and I will most definitely be rocking this when it gets cooler outside. Imagine this with like green tights. Ooh, amazing, literally amazing. Okay, so this is a very tentative, is that the word for it? Tentative idea for this shirt. Now, honestly, I really don't know if it's going to be too short, but whatever. So because I'm dealing with very little fabric, what the best thing I could do, I mean, I don't know, but I'm going to ask my sister before I go any further. What I think I should do is, because if I double it, then double it again, that's just going to be less fabric. So if I don't have a serger, but if I do like a really good zigzag stitch on the edge, so at least it locks in this like fraying hemline, and then I just fold it normally. We have the finished hem. Not the greatest, not the worst. I'm going to fold this over and make sure it has enough space to fit through this elastic that I'm using. Okay, we are ironed, pinned. Gonna do a straight stitch, and then I'm gonna feed the elastic in with the safety pin technique. Elastic situation. You don't want it like super tight because that would be really uncomfortable. And the thing is, with the elastic, you can start off with like something that is very loose, and then you can always just make it tighter anyway, so that's fine. I think I definitely will have to tighten it, but let's be safe. For the safety pin method, you want to attach a safety pin that can fit well through your seam allowance, stuff that safety pin, and push it forward through the entirety of the seam allowance. When you get to the end, you want to secure both ends with that safety pin and try it on. She's wonky. Whatever. Maybe I might make it like a smidgen, baby bit tighter, but she's good. I want to make sure it's going to actually stay on my body. Okay, so I did a really wonky zigzag stitch, but it hooked it together, so that's fine. Now you're gonna kind of feed it into the thing, and I'm gonna stretch this out and close up the little gap that I have there, and then we're gonna be done. Oh my god, this came out so cute, and definitely was so easy to do. What I love about it is that it's such a versatile piece. You can wear it by itself, maybe though with a bandeau underneath for some extra coverage, you know, if you need it, or you can put it around one's shoulder, and now you have this asymmetrical ruffle top. Even putting it on top of a skirt would serve as like a peplum skirt thingy. Yeah, I really hope you guys try this one out. Okay, now we're going to attempt to make this into a two-piece. I'm not gonna lie, I have been dreading this, and I have been putting this off for a while now. So what I think I should do is get a shirt that I know fits me well. So that fits like right there. So I'm guessing I could at least cut this much. Oh, that seems really long. All right, the big chop. I did it. Oh god. Top is gonna be the hardest because I need to like reconstruct everything. So let's look at the bottom. But the bottom also is a little hard because it has this opening. Okay, here we go. All right, so now I'm gonna just try this on and how it fits. So as I went to go try on the bottom, I zipped it up, and yeah, this happened. Oh, such an idiot. I don't feel like doing this. I feel like throwing this away. All right, let's forget about this and I guess look at the top.
You know, sew the zipper backwards.
Okay.
So the opening is on the bottom. You know what I'm talking about? Or should I draw it real quick?
You should draw it real quick. Alright, in the meantime, I will take out the bottom of this zipper and see how to do that. Okay, so what I ended up doing was my sister suggested that I go from the end of the zipper, take out the little metal thing and feed it through the zipper again. So now it worked. Now I gotta put that metal clip back. So now we managed to overcome one scary thing. Now we get to our second scary thing. I'm gonna try to make this waistline. Seam rip some of these things, and then I'm gonna fold this in, iron it so that it's nice and crisp. So when I go to sew it, it's gonna be a lot easier. You want to sandwich the zipper between the lining and the fabric, or put it under the fabric like so to secure it while you sew it all together. Try to fold this little part in because it's fraying so badly, so I'm hoping I can like just kind of tuck it away. And then the rest, I just pinned it as best as I could together. I'm gonna use straight stitch. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know. So anyways, okay, let's go. Oh, I'm scared. No, because I have the bobbin on this side is wrong. Oh, that's okay. I'm so proud. I know I'm like nowhere near done, but I got this thing done, so yay. Here I have another skirt that there's no give. Trace this, and I'm gonna add in like an inch of seam allowance. Gonna make it a tad bit longer, and then from there. So here's the problem that we got. This zipper is too short. Like I need it to go longer so I can go over my hips. Well, this is as far as we got. So I'm taking out the zipper, and then I realized, what if I take out the zipper track, flip it over, because right now where it ends is on this side. So if I flip it this way, then that means, right? No. Switch it over so that the zipper goes down to close. What I'm gonna have to do is take out the zipper here. And I had bought like an extra zipper that I was gonna put on this. So instead of using that zipper for this top, I'll put that zipper for this. Oh, thank you, Albie. Hey, you brought poop, girl? Okay, I put it through the old zipper. Now I'm gonna flip it over and figure out how to actually hem this. So I'm going to look at my instruction manual. I thought I had the zipper foot, but no, I only have like a buttonhole one. So instead I did a quick YouTube search to find someone who sewed a zipper on without a zipper foot, so that's what we're gonna try to do. This is uneven, so I gotta seam rip this whole thing.
That's right.
Here's the final. I accidentally ended up going into a different stitch. I thought I was using a straight stitch, but I had a zigzag stitch. Didn't feel like seam ripping that, so I did that. Looking janky, not professional, but I'm not a professional, so I think this looks good. It honestly doesn't look super flattering on me. So yeah, I guess taking in the sides would be the best bet. Instead, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take out the zipper. I do have another zipper, it's a darker colored zipper, but you know, whatever. And yeah, I'm gonna try to just redo this whole zipper situation again. Ooh, it made it over the hump. My lovely lady lumps. Hey, this looks wonky, but I don't care. I did it. Look at this wonky zipper. I did it.
Oh, girl. You know what? I totally forgot to tell you. I sent you a little package.
Oh, so it wasn't just a dream. What I'm gonna do is make this a little bit shorter. My sister says it looks too senora. It just sucks. I gotta do this all over again. But what I want to do for this one is make her into like a mini skirt, and then this one goes up like this. So that's the plan. I'm also going to take in the sides, marking it at 2 centimeters at the top and 2.5 centimeters at the bottom, and then connecting it with the line. I'm trying to make this skirt shorter, but we have this slit situation here, and according to my sister, I need to take all this out. Take this out, take this out, and then sew it together. I was just like, can't we just do this? But I guess we can't. No! This thing just got stuck in my knee. Just went. Oh. Okay, so I sewed this together. Great, awesome. Put a little line here, and now I'm gonna cut it. So, Miss Thang over here came out hella puckered and mad wonky. This happened because the bobbin thread I used was one that can stretch, so it made it pucker up. So I had to just seam rip everything again and do it again with the correct bobbin thread. Finally, it's done. Jesus, I can't believe it. It's, you know what? It's not the best because, you know, I'm not a professional, but as my first big project, I think this came out great. This basically looks like what Isabella from the Lizzie McGuire movie wore if you took off her jacket and that tulle thing. I'm living my best. This is what dreams are made of look. And of course, I love the fact that I can wear these pieces separately to create even more looks. So that is all for the video, homies. Let me know which piece was your favorite, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe. Ciao!